Welcome back, turn 39. Lots of stuff going on here. So I powered myself in fire. Not this turn, but next turn I'll be summoning the Solar Ram, assuming he's still around. Got a Naiad, so she's got all this great magic. Air Spirit, and I got a double here, so she's pretty useful. The Dire Portent is Stellar Focus. Which Stellar Focus itself isn't that impactful. The more interesting part is that it's another global up, and it's enchantment 7, or I think it's enchantment 7. I'm saving up my nature gems with the intent of casting Mana from the Heavens. With me having lots of priests, I should be able to get a lot of good value out of that. So that's going to be on the way. Found a magic site, the Mudfield, so picking up a few gems there. More blood hunting. Beat up these guys in Snake Swamps. So this is just a little out of the way province that I felt like grabbing. It looks like some indies came in there and caused trouble at one point. But regardless, my Angel here can just trample all over them. So that went pretty well. Another battle for me. So some fighting here in Pazoos. I came in to attack Pangea, and I've got this crew against PD. I revealed Body Ethereal, which is not the biggest reveal, and just started breathing poison all over these clowns. And they die animal-related deaths. Lost a couple of chaff. And then Facia tried to move in as well with their barbarians, which does not go well for Facia. They just get wrecked by all these guys. So the story there was a bit more deaths again from lions. I don't care so much about it. I did lose the Draco Lion, which is unfortunate, but quite manageable. Arcadus. So Pangea, excuse me, moved this horde of Maenads. I've just got one guy here, so obviously I'm going to lose. But this was an interesting play by them. They're casting Iron Warriors with their pans. Iron Warriors, of course, gives natural protection 20 to whomever it hits, which looks like they ended up just casting them on themselves. The pans do not berserk or trample, so and they're clearly not prepped for thugging duties. In any case, the Maenads come in and wreck. These guys still don't bother with a bless. And have you cast anything of note? Nope, just iron buffs. If I had lightning, then I could counter that particularly well. But as it is, that's not the scariest thing. I hit hard enough to chew through Iron Skin regardless. So right now they've got, this says 630, it's actually 500, which is fine. I think either of my armies could beat them just because these Maenads are such worthless troops that lions will claw through them. I'm not converging on them. I'm regrouping here, and I'm grouping up here with these forces that are also joining up. And I'm basically going to dare him to commit to one or the other, because I think whichever one he does commit to, I'll have an edge in fighting against. So these guys, I'm not bothering with scripting them because they're just going to hang out in Storm Woods. These guys, those not actually participating. These lions are moving in and they're going to attack rear, trying to get at the pans. These guys are undisciplined, so I'm just trying to keep them out of the way so I don't accidentally HP route. These guys will hold the line. This guy is carrying this Staff of Gaia, which casts Primal Power when the battle starts. I should transfer that to someone else, just because he's horror marked. So this guy, got a lot of investment in him. He's going to communion up and then summon some Magma Warriors. And he's positioned in between these fronts, with the idea being that he'll summon the Magma Warriors that'll then pour through the gap. So that's similar to what we were talking about before with Arcos of Fale. Over here, these guys are also going to be summoning Fire Elementals, and the plan, once again, is to try to have them pour through the gap between the Sacreds. My Sacred's not fire resistant, so I want to do what I can to avoid hurting my own dudes with this. These guys spit poison. They'll be hanging behind, and actually I guess they can just go off to the side here, but the goal is for them to cluster up behind all of these other guys. And these guys are just the worthless melee dudes, trying to keep them out of the skirmish. The Chimeras are going to fly to the back and burn themselves up, but only so much you can do there. And as you can see from my script, I'm going to be trying to summon some fire elementals with a little bit of spacing so that I don't burn out my own mages. So that's the plan there. Fire elementals should do a lot of work on main ads because they don't have any type of protection against fire, and will just impale themselves on its smoky aura. The other thing, I skipped over this battle in Arime. In any case, let's go ahead and watch that. So this was a big one. Vanderlog has several of their Gundit Harvas up front, Tiger Riders behind them, and then archers in the corners. Here's their Kanara, this guy with Awe and Air Magic. Several Gurus. There will almost certainly be a communion happening. And then these guys are throwing sticks and stones behind the Tiger Riders. Who are you? You are Rishi. Okay. Pythium has a line of Estatus, some Theurgs behind them. These look to be all Acolytes, I think. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of their more advanced Theurgs. We've got some communicants back here. Oh, there's a Theurg. Nice and proper. And then in the back are some Hestatus. Looks like they also summoned up some gladiators for this fight. Alright, so communions go up. Divine Blessing happened on the Pythium side, I think. Oh, maybe a Divine Blessing is about to happen. Archers are firing, it's doing nothing. Air Elementals summoned from Pythium. No Air Elementals from Vanderlog yet. Let's see, you've got to be a Communion Master, right? No, okay. Can I find a Communion Master? Yeah, so 10 slaves to this Communion. And the birds fly to the back. Hell was cast by Vanderlog, but I guess the birds don't fly to the back. They fly just kind of wherever, and that's a problem. Because if they flew to the back, they would trample all over these yogis, and Vanderlog would be in a lot of trouble. Because as it stands, they get mixed in with these Vander Warriors, which are tough enough to at least slow them down a bit. Soul Slays start firing from the Banderlog line. So we see some of those taking effect here. Let's see what you guys have been up to. Lots of body ethereal. Why? So they're trying to etherealize these guys, which will not be effective against these because they have magic weapons. So that was just a misscripting. They should have been doing more Soul Slays. There's no one in the back to protect against the wolves, so they're having to divert Soul Slays against them. Some of the air elementals are continuing to do their job, but some of them have been defeated. And these Gandharvas are just way better troops than the statues, so they slowly make their way through them. The statues do not berserk. The backline just abandoned their mages, so now the Gandharvas that are flanked are just going to rip through the community. There's no more air elementals. The ethereal was taken down, and the result is a convincing win for Banderlog. So what could Pythium have done differently? They shouldn't have bothered with body ethereal, I would say. They should have just been doing soul slays or enslaved minds or whatever of their own right. If they had brought some birds rather than relying on air elementals, the birds could have flown to the back and started to eat all of these guys. I think that would have been pretty effective. You recall from my other game, Corona Rex, perhaps, that Pythium has a conjuration spell that summons a crap ton of angels. I think that those would have been more effective than what Pythium elected to deploy here. I'm not sure where their research is, but it's late enough that they could have focused on it, and I feel as Pythium DE you have to. So the resultant score was just a complete rout. Pythium lost their whole communion, almost all of their Hestatus, as well as all of their other supporting infantry, and didn't kill a single mage. Only one of these mighty Gandharvas died. So that's definitely the beginning of the end for Pythium. They invested a lot into this battle and were smoked. If I'm Banderlog, I might actually, I'd probably send only a small force to actually take this fortress, and I would try to move and capture this communion here while it's still trapped in this fortress. I guess it's not trapped it might move out this turn. But I would try to catch these guys because they've got no one to feed, and these guys can do a lot of damage before Pythium has a chance to regroup. But regardless, this is very successful for Banderlog. So at this point, I'm going to keep dealing with Pangea here. I expect this to resolve itself pretty quickly. And then I'm going to reach out to Phasia and to Asphodel and to say, look, Banderlog's got pretty much the whole world at this point. We need to get together and stop them, or else they're just going to straight up win. Throne-wise, they've only got 3 of the 9 points required, but that is not counting... Well, what is that not counting? I think they just picked this one up, so I don't think that one is counted. Yeah, because they already had these 2. They've got this one, which they haven't claimed yet. So, with those additional throne claims, they'd be up to at least 5. So that'll be the plan. Just get the diplomacy machine working there. Research. I'm researching Alteration 5, then going to do a quick jaunt down Thaumaturgy, and then go into Construction. Considering instead going into Blood, I could pick up Blood right and start summoning some vampires. But, well, I've made my choice. And we will see if it was the right one. I really want to get some of the cool gadgets of Construction. And I don't think I'm living in existential crisis right now, although I may be proven wrong. Looks like my neighbor, like my border with Banderlog, is relatively peaceful. I've got my formations on the border, and if war were to break out between us, I could do a lot of raiding real quickly, just because I can throw out a bunch of Valspawn or something and lions to cause trouble, whereas they would have to concentrate their forces more. So, in any case, that was turn 39, I think. Yeah, thanks as always for joining me, and I'll see you on turn 40.